Speaking of Gaul and France, it's your favourite French boy here, Dr. Batanga, with a video. This is not his latest video, which I do want to check out, but this one caught my eye. I've been meaning to watch it. He uploaded it like a week ago. Arknights, the worst 4-star of each class for a new player. As somebody who's a somewhat new player, right? This is interesting. I want to check it out. Let's see what it's all about then, shall we, guys? Oh, we got to drop a preemptive like, show some love for the doc. Let's get into it.
Are 4 stars, and a lot of people will tell you that you can.
Let me rewind that we missed a bit.
Arknights, the units you will usually pull the most are 4 stars, and a lot of people will tell you that you can level up any unit since any unit is viable at the beginning. This is true to an extent. However, I want to point out that there are certainly worse units that you can upgrade as a new player. Hello guys, this is Dr. Perforation, and today I will make a little list of 8 4-star operators that you probably shouldn't upgrade as a new player. One for each class. Let's
see if I've done any of these. Let's see if I managed to avoid some of the pitfalls, maybe.
With the guard operator. A lot of people expect me to say Frostleaf, and I'm actually going with Bee Hunter. Fighters in general don't have much purpose unless they are anomalies like Mountain or Chongyue, but in the early game they are
I was gonna say like people kept going, Laura is a mountain simp, right? Yeah, Laura who comes into chat. Absolute mountain simp. I'm not going to lie. Mountain is great. Like, awesome lane holder, especially as a new player, right? Like, actually cracked, I think, as a new player. Cheap. And when you skill on, right? Dude's just fun, right? When he starts pummeling people, it's satisfying. It's really satisfying, and the VA does a real good job as well.
Particularly useless. Only 1 block, low attack, a pretty high attack speed and a low DP cost. But if the game taught you something, if you want units with low DP cost, you should deploy vanguards instead, since these will also generate you DP. Now, why Bee Hunter and not Jackie? Jackie has at least a useful S1 and gains attack through potentials, while Bee Hunter's S1 is completely useless. Dodging in the early game serves no purpose at all, since you could simply use medics instead. Her S2 is slightly...
What's going on, Laura? Big muscular furry man who takes a lot. What's not to love about him?
Slightly more useful.
Got some dapper suits as well, actually.
Of damage shouldn't be an issue for new players who have access to Cruise Alter and Insider. For Sniper, I was wondering whether I should go with Jessica or Vermeil, but then I chose a very controversial pick. Acid Drop. Acid Drop is clearly not a bad unit later on.
I was gonna say, I've heard some people saying Acid Drop's actually useful.
However, for a new player, she serves basically no purpose. The concept of close-range snipers is pretty simple. Big attack snipers that can reduce or shred defense. This is cool in theory, but in the early game you're much better off playing casters instead, since they basically do this job better. Again, in the late...
I think that's fair. Like, for me, a reason why Cruz was just such an important part of my team early on as well, right? Which I know she's not a caster, right? But it was just that range. You know, big range, put her down, let her do a thing, great. And if I'm going close range units, like close sniper, I'm getting point cone out, baby. I'm getting point cone out, you know?
Game, Acid Drop is fine.
What's easy? Acid Drop is not made for newbies. Strong later on for an issue. Okay. What is that? Module related or specific to some stages or IS potentially?
Speaking about casters, the caster I chose is...
We all know Point Cone is the best sniper pairing, sure.
Easily Gitano. AoE casters in general are among the worst casters archetype in existence with chain casters, so it was between Gitano and Pudding, but Pudding has one big asset over Gitano's assets. There's no 3-star equivalent of an archetype, while for AoE casters, if you desperately want an AoE caster so much...
Yeah, to be fair, I did, like, Lava got used a bit, right? But I used Gitano a little bit. But I never really, like, got invested into her, if I'm honest, either. They can be useful, right? But for me, I just never really got enamored with them.
Just upgrade Lava. Her skill comes faster. Her talent is much more reliable,
and
you won't need as much resources. Dr. Pepperoni from the future there. I somehow completely forgot about Grey, but that doesn't matter. I still think Gitano is worse than Grey, even though she has more attack. First of all, because her talent is much worse than Grey's, and second of all, because Grey's base skill is actually very good. On to defenders. Dona is probably the most useless defender for a new player, since there's much better ways to get us.
So far, so far, we've done good. We've avoided most on the list here. So, alright.
Damage, and you're sacrificing precious defense stats compared to other defenders when upgrading her. You're much better off upgrading basically any other defender, although I wouldn't advise to upgrade Lutonada either, but at least Lutonada has some self-sustain
I've avoided her as well.
Utility while starting out. Dona's defensive recovery for a new player.
Not gonna lie, it wasn't a big brain choice, it's just because I'd already got some units already, right?
Is really not ideal. For vanguards, there's honestly no real bad 4-star vanguard, but the worst one is probably scavenger. In the early game, you usually want pioneer vanguards to be defensive, meaning your free courier is better than scavenger. If you need a charger at some point, then Vigna can actually dish out some impressive damage.
I like Vigna. Like, Vigna Fang at the start of the game was a great little duo for me, right? We won't go back to the days of Fang falling constantly. You know, she just literally was for the meat grinder. Yeah, I like Vigna as well.
Again, scavenger isn't really bad.
Are you Pixies and Brummy? Listen, right? Don't insult me, okay? I'm near Birmingham. I am not a Brummy. I'm from Wolverhampton. It's not any better, but still, you know.
I just think that Courier will do her job better. Regarding supporters, frankly at any point in the game, Earth Spirit is the worst 4-star supporter. She's basically Orchid with 2 worse skills than her.
Oh wow, is Orchid getting slandered here? I did build Orchids. Orchid was actually quite useful for me for some stages.
More to upgrade and doesn't...
Vigna Fang is your version of Flagpipe in early game. True, right? True.
Stay relevant, unlike Orchid, who can be...
I'm from Birmingham! Yeah, I'm a yam. I'm from Wolverhampton. I am. Near Dudley.
In Ice 2, 3 and 4. Her only selling point is to be a copium support option for Chaobai, but that's only if you don't have Suzerain, and even without her, that's not a good enough reason to justify upgrading her. For specialists, I initially thought Robe would be a good candidate since in a lot of cases, pulling is less useful than pushing, but then I remembered Verdant exists.
Yeah, but pulling can be really fun when you're on your own. Anyway, I built Robe a little bit. I must admit, yeah, pushing definitely does seem... I've never really like felt the need to use a puller other than maybe what I've seen some people when they're doing like 2 pullers and they're doing that like fun stuff, right? But yeah, man, sure point on, baby. You know what I mean?
And I don't know why. Nobody knows why. Silvergun doesn't know why. His S1 is completely useless, and why his S2 isn't, despite the horrendous HP loss, you could upgrade much better melee R-stealing units instead, like Utage. Finally, for medics, I decided to go with Chestnut. The reason is simple, there's not a lot of elemental damage in the early game in Arknights, and even if you need to heal some, for example in Stultifer or Navis, you're much better off.
Yeah, that's definitely a fair point, right? It's kind of like a... yeah. It's just a defunct early game, right?
Upgrading Honeyberry, the free 5-star and much better version of him. And there we go, guys. This was my list of the 8 4-star units you should probably not upgrade as a new player. Again, even if for some reason you decide to do so, it's absolutely fine and it will not slow your progression. If you like this video, leave a like.
See, again, a perfect example there. Glaze time chat, right? This is where I like Arknights. You can go, these units are like pretty shit. But you know what? You'll still be fine using them because as long as you play smart and as long as you play to the strengths of your team, you're going to be fine and you're going to be just as fine as if you were like using better units, right? Especially early game because, you know, it's early game for a reason, right? What do you think of the list then, chap? Do you agree? I think we did pretty good, man. We pretty much avoided all of the bad units. Dr. Batanga will be proud. Yeah, okay, all right. Guys, if you haven't already, you know the deal. Show the doc some love. Make some great content. It deserves way more subs as well. Way more viewers. Because I think, for me, he's one of my favourite Arknights content creators, actually. So yeah, go show some love for your boy. I know you all know him, but yeah, go double watch a video. Show some love.